What is up, Disney nerds? Yesterday, I got the chance to see Wonka at my local movie theater, and I figured let's do a review on it. Yes, this is a popcorn bucket on my head, and yes, it is Willy Wonka's hat. Without further ado, let's get into the video. I really like this hat. The only problem is it says Wonka on it, so you can't wear it as a hat because if you wear it, it says Wonka upside down. So, I mean, it's cool for the aspect though. I do like the gold font, so that's cool. Okay, so like I said, last night I was able to go see Wonka in my local movie theater, and it was really fun. It caught me so off surprising. I'm not the biggest Timothée Chalamet fan, but he did great in this role as Willy Wonka. This movie really caught me by surprise. I wasn't really looking forward to it too much. When I first saw that it was coming out and releasing, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be good. It didn't look great. It just kind of looked okay. And so like, I wasn't the biggest, jumping into it. I never really cared for Willy Wonka though. Like, I never really cared for the original. Johnny Depp's version always scared me. But this one was really good, and it was heartwarming, charming, and there's just a lot to break down with this movie. There are going to be spoilers, so go watch the movie first unless you want to get spoiled. Okay, so starting off with plot, I'm giving this movie a 9 out of 10 when it comes to its plot. It is so, oh my gosh, it's so heartwarming. Like, so basically it's Willy Wonka versus this chocolate cartel. And basically the chocolate cartel people are just trying to get Willy Wonka to stop selling chocolate because his chocolate's so good. The more chocolate Willy Wonka sells, the chocolate cartel doesn't make any money, stuff like that, and like they bribe people with chocolate to like kind of get rid of Willy Wonka. And this movie caught me so off by surprise because it's a musical. 100% it's a musical. They do not advertise this as a musical. I thought there was like 1 or 2 songs in it. It's a musical, full-heartedly. More musical than La La Land or Mamma Mia. It's crazy. I'm not the biggest musical fan when it comes to movies. Like, I like them, I enjoy them, but I don't love them. This is probably one of the only musicals that I will sit through, and it has a good story, and the songs progress with the story, and it's not just all for the songs. Like, it's for the whole story. And like, there's a lot going on with this story. There's a lot with his mother, and that I saw it with my mom, and it pulled my heartstrings a little bit with his mother, his relationship. Him and Noodle it was very, like, upsetting. Like, there's, like, plot twists through this, kind of, towards the end. And it's just such a good story. And I will say, by the ending of the movie, of course, they open the chocolate factory. It's just kind of, it's so magical to see Willy Wonka with his chocolate factory that it made me shed a tear a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is probably the most magical Willy Wonka film yet. Like, this is the best Willy Wonka movie, for sure. Okay, so now visually, I'm giving this movie a 9 out of 10. It's Paul King, guys. Paul King made the Paddington movies, and if you've seen the Paddington movies, you know those have a certain magical feeling to them. And it's just like this. This movie it reminds me of a Wes Anderson movie, but with more, like, charm. And that's kind of what all Paul King movies are. They're like Wes Anderson, but with more character and more charm to them. And I love the visual effects in this movie, the cinematography, everything about it's amazing. It makes, the world building is great. It's so like, there's scenes that are so dull and like dirty when like they're like the scrub scene. That is so like dirty aspects, but then you see Willy Wonka and like he's so charming and colorful and magical that like, it just makes Willy Wonka pop out so much. Towards like the middle or like the ending, it gets so colorful. And like, you kind of see that progress through the movie where like it starts off very colorless, very dirty, and like slowly throughout the movie till you get to the ending, it's when it gets very like full of color. And that's what's really cool about this movie. And you got to pay attention to that. And I definitely noticed it. And it's so visually breathtaking. It's great. All right, going into acting, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Timothée Chalamet does great in this. It's probably his best performance, I would say. I think it's better than Dune. I love Timothée Chalamet in this movie. He's definitely, you can tell he was a theater kid, 100%. This man does not get this role without being some theater kid because he has a great singing voice, and I know like Little Tim Tim, all those memes and stuff. No, like this man could really sing well, and there's something about his performance as Willy Wonka that gives us like such a magical feeling. The only thing that's kind of missing away is kind of Willy Wonka's like psychological aspects, because if you think about it, in the original Willy Wonka and even like Willy Wonka Johnny Depp's version and Tim Burton, he isolates himself with only his Oompa Loompas, and like he's crazy, like he's actually like insane, or like he just gets mad at people and starts yelling. But we don't really see that in this one. We more see like a charming man. We see he's a little bit crazy because like there are a few scenes where he's like kind of talking to Noodles, but like you can't tell like if it's like him being serious or if it's a joke. But like in like the originals, you could tell he was like an insane person.
And they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
This one, he's more of like just a charming, whimsical guy. And so like, I don't know. That's the only thing that's kind of missing with his Willy Wonka, but I think that's the direction they were going with, is more of a charming Willy Wonka, and you could definitely notice that. Alright, so soundtrack. I'm giving the soundtrack a 9 out of 10. Like I said, it's a musical. Was not prepared for that. I will say the beginning few songs were like not amazing, but then once you get into like the last one, Pure Imagination, this version of Pure Imagination is my favorite. Loved it. Scrub Scrub, stuck in my head. The scene where like the Chocolate Cartel are like singing to bribe the cop. Great song. There's a few songs within this movie that really make your heart go like, oh my gosh, that was breathtaking, or like, oh my gosh, that was like really good. I don't know, like, and like maybe it was also like the scene where Willy Wonka finally opens his shop with Noodle and all of them. That was really cute. The soundtrack in this is great, and there's so many songs, and they don't advertise it as a musical, and I wonder why, because people would go see this if they knew it was a musical. But also maybe not, because I know like my father does not like musicals, but he wants to see this because he likes Willy Wonka. Didn't tell him it was a musical yet. He'll be surprised when he sees it and it is a musical. Wondering how like people like that, I wonder what their reaction is to it, because I enjoy musicals. Just was pretty shocked to find out that this was a musical. Enjoyment, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. This is easily the most enjoyable film of the year. There's no movie that came out this year that gave me a smile on my face the whole movie like this one did. And like Joyride was funny and stuff, but this one was funny, but like it made like your inner child just like burst out of your heart. Like it warmed me up. It's so heartwarming, so emotional, and like it made me smile throughout the whole movie. And there are scenes that are gonna make you tear up, like when Noodle finally finds her mom, or like that made me so emotional. And like when Willy Wonka was talking about his mom, it was so emotional. Like I was tearing up a little bit. Like I got teary-eyed. It's so good. Very enjoyable. Great movie. For the ending, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Like I said, the ending is basically Noodle finds her mom, and Willy Wonka opens up his chocolate factory with the Oompa Loompa, which caught me off. I'm a little bit curious as to what happens, because there's only one Oompa Loompa in this. How does he get the rest of them? Because like the Oompa Loompa, Hugh Grant, said, oh, like, we only, like, I came here because you stole my cocoa beans, gotta go back to my homeland. But then the Oompa Loompa were like, no, I kind of want to stay with you. How does he get the other Oompa Loompas? Does he get the other Oompa Loompas? Very curious on that. So overall, I really enjoyed this movie. It was so cute, so fun, easily the most enjoyable movie of this year. And I think everyone should watch this because it's really good. But overall, I'm giving it a 92 out of 100. I have it like right underneath the creator. I think the creator's just a little bit better in my opinion. But this did make the top 10 of the year. I do have Hunger Games above it because I did really enjoy Hunger Games a lot. But I really enjoyed Wonka. I think it's a great movie for all ages to see. And it's definitely a very family-friendly movie. I would suggest like taking your, whole family to see this movie, especially around the holidays. It's a great movie to go watch for Christmas, I would think, like as like a family, like if you're not doing anything over Christmas break. Definitely go see Wonka. Alright, so that is my take on this movie. I do think this will be the last movie I will see before the new year. I really want to try to go see Godzilla, but if I'm not going to be able to, I will make my video on the best movies of the year, stuff like that. My yearly review of movies before the new year. So this is not the last video you will see of me before 2024. I will be making one more. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video. What did you guys think on Wonka? Let me know in the comments below. If you really liked the video, make sure you like the video. If you really, really, really like the video, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more movie reviews like this, make sure you ring that bell for future videos like this. With that being said, thanks so much for watching. Tinser out. Peace.